Hey everybody, so over the years I've done a lot of sales and e-commerce Excel dashboards, and I've learned some lessons along the way that I want to share with you, stuff that maybe will make it a little easier for you if you're building your own reports. So first things first, we want to start with a clean, structured table. Single header, no merged cells. Each line of your table should represent like an individual transaction or an aggregate of transactions for say a week or a month, but it has to be consistent. It's better to have more columns than it is to have multiple tables that you're blending together. It's really important to consider the date granularity. That means is it daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, etc. You need to keep that consistent across the board. Next is to start moving your data out of your core tables into pivot tables. So when you're thinking about what you want to visualize, what metrics you want to pull, it's going to be better to put them into a pivot table so that we can add slicers and timelines, which allow us to filter that data down the line. The next big factor is to make sure you actually understand your audience. How much are they going to understand? How much do they need explained to them? If you don't take the time to do this, you may create a dashboard that really never gets used by anyone. Knowing your audience is one of the biggest factors in a project's success. So a big missed opportunity is people taking the time to do a little bit of visual design. If your company has a brand or style guide, take a look at it. Take the time to get your colors right, get them to match your branding. I have a whole series of videos on my profile about doing this kind of visual design in Excel. It's not as hard as you might think. You probably have most of the skills already. The other thing to consider is pivot charts. Pivot charts are visualizations that are based off of a pivot table. It's easy to create a pivot chart. It works exactly the same as creating a pivot table. Every single chart you see on these dashboards behind me is a pivot chart. We're using pivot charts here because it allows us to filter everything. Now, last but not least is making sure that filters are not an afterthought. Filters are what allow us to dive deep into our data, to explore our data, to change our time range that we're looking at. So take time to really think about what filters you want available to your audience. We do filtering by using a thing called slicers and timelines. Under the Insert tab in Excel, you'll find both of those. And these are going to allow us to essentially filter pivot tables and pivot charts. All right, that's it for now, guys. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. I can go a little bit deeper into specific topics if you want me to. And if you're interested in the templates you see behind me, I have a newsletter where I send out free templates like this on a weekly basis. You can check it out on my profile. I think it's a great way to start learning this stuff and get yourself up to speed so you can start building these types of reports yourself. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.